Look at somebody next to you and tell them there's more in you than what you see right now. You might be living beneath your potential. You might be walking through storms. You might even feel overlooked, but I came to tell you today, God has hidden treasures inside of you that the world hasn't even seen yet. You are not an accident. You are not ordinary. You were designed with divine purpose, and your destiny is greater than your history. Too many of us settle for living on the surface when God has called us to go deeper. You see, destiny is not something you stumble upon by chance. It's something you walk into with faith, with vision, with obedience. The enemy wants to distract you, to convince you that you don't have what it takes, to bury your dreams under fear, failure, and doubt. But I hear the Spirit saying today, it's time to rise up. It's time to break free from limitation. It's time to discover your true potential and walk boldly into the destiny God prepared for you before the foundations of the world. You are not defined by what you've been through. You are defined by what you were created to become. And today, I want to challenge you, inspire you, and push you until you see yourself the way God sees you. Because when you walk in your divine destiny, nothing can stop you. No demon in hell, no circumstance on earth, and no chain of the past can hold you back from the future God has for you. There is a greatness inside of you that the world has not yet seen. You may not feel it right now. You may not see it when you look in the mirror. Life has a way of covering up what God has placed within us. Burdens, mistakes, disappointments, and the opinions of people will try to bury the seed of greatness. But buried does not mean dead. Just because you haven't walked in it yet doesn't mean it's not there. Just because life has pressed you down doesn't mean God has changed his mind about what he put in you. I want you to understand this today. You are carrying something divine. There is a gift, a calling, an assignment that is uniquely yours, and no one else on this earth can fulfill it the way you were designed to. The tragedy of life is not death itself, but to live and never truly discover what God created you to become. Too many people die without ever unwrapping the gift that was placed inside of them. They conform, they settle, they listen to the voice of fear louder than the voice of faith. But you are not here by accident. You are not in this room. You are not breathing this breath. You are not standing in this season of your life without reason. There is purpose in your existence, and that purpose is proof that greatness has already been planted within you. Greatness is not about status or fame. It is not measured by how many people know your name or how much wealth you accumulate. True greatness is the fulfillment of God's intention for your life. It is becoming what you were designed to be. A seed of oak does not look like much when it is in your hand. It's small, unimpressive, overlooked. But within that tiny seed is a forest. Within that seed is shade for generations to come. Within that seed is fruit, is oxygen, is provision, is beauty. And in the same way, you may look at yourself and think you are small, insignificant, unqualified, but within you is a destiny far greater than what the natural eye can see. If you ever dare to water that seed, to nurture that potential, to believe in the God who planted it, you will discover strength you didn't know you had, creativity that surprises you, resilience that keeps you standing when others expect you to fall. Some of you have been told you'll never make it. You'll never amount to much. You'll never rise above where you are. But I came to tell you, people's words do not define your worth. What God planted in you cannot be canceled by critics. It cannot be erased by enemies. And it cannot be diminished by failure. You may have stumbled, but you are still chosen. You may have wasted time, but it is not too late. The gift is still in you. The greatness is still alive. The enemy would love for you to believe you've gone too far or waited too long, but the very fact that you are alive today means God is not finished with you. The journey to discovering greatness often begins with a whisper, a stirring inside of you, an unrest that says, there's more to my life than this. That's God calling you out of the shadows, calling you to stretch, to grow, to move. It won't always be easy. Greatness is not discovered in comfort. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified in fire, and your destiny will be revealed in the challenges you face. Don't run from the process. Don't despise the struggle. It is in the dark soil that the seed begins to break open. It is in the hidden place that roots grow deep. And it is only when the seed has endured the soil, the darkness, and the weight of the earth above it that it finally breaks through to the light. That is when the world sees what God planted. That is when greatness is revealed. I want you to make up your mind today that you will not go to your grave with your gift still inside you. You will not allow fear or failure or the opinions of people to bury your potential. You will stir up the gift. You will pursue the calling. You will dare to believe that God knew what he was doing when he created you. You will discover that there is greatness within you, not because of who you are, but because of who he is. And when you walk in that truth, you will no longer lie beneath your privilege. You will rise into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. There comes a point in your life when you have to decide that enough is enough. Enough of living in fear. Enough of shrinking back. Enough of playing small because of what other people might think. You cannot walk into your destiny if you are still chained by the limitations in your mind and the doubts in your heart. The greatest prison is not a physical one. It is the prison of believing that you are less than what God says you are. Some of you have been locked up in that prison for years, bound by the voices of your past, bound by the memory of failures, bound by the labels people slapped on you. But today I declare that the key is in your hand and God is calling you to break free. Limitations are often illusions. They look real because life has taught you to accept them. Maybe you grew up in poverty and now you think lack will always be your story. Maybe you've been rejected so many times that you've come to believe love and acceptance aren't for you. Maybe you tried and failed, so now your mind says, don't try again. But can I tell you this? Just because you failed does not mean you are a failure. Just because the door closed does not mean the dream is dead. God does not measure you by your mistakes. He measures you by the potential he placed within you. And when he said you are more than a conqueror, he wasn't talking about somebody else, he was talking about you. Self-doubt is the enemy's favorite weapon because he knows if he can defeat you in your own mind, he doesn't need to fight you anywhere else. If he can convince you that you are unworthy, you will disqualify yourself from opportunities before the battle even begins. You'll sit on the sidelines of life watching others step into what could have been yours simply because you didn't believe you had what it takes. But let me tell you, the devil is a liar. You are not unworthy. You are not inadequate. You are not disqualified. When God chose you, he already knew your flaws. He already knew your weaknesses. He already knew the mistakes you would make, and yet he still called you. He still anointed you. He still appointed you for destiny. Breaking free from limitations means you stop agreeing with the lies. It means you stop rehearsing what went wrong and start declaring what God said about you. You may not feel strong, but he said you are strong in him. You may not feel wise, but he said if you lack wisdom, he will give it generously. You may not feel ready, but he said his grace is sufficient. Stop waiting until you feel perfect, because perfection will never come. The breakthrough begins when you step out with trembling hands and shaking knees, but with a heart that says, Lord, if you called me, I'll go. Think about how many people in Scripture wrestled with limitations and doubt. Moses said, I can't speak. Gideon said, I'm too small. Jeremiah said, I'm too young. Even Peter said, I'm not worthy. And yet God used every single one of them. Why? Because destiny has never been about your ability. It has always been about his power working through you. If you're waiting until you have it all together before you step into your calling, you'll never move. But if you dare to break through the barriers in your mind, you will see that the only thing standing between you and destiny is the courage to believe. You must understand this. Limitations are meant to be broken. The ceiling you're under today was somebody else's floor yesterday. Don't let where you started dictate where you finish. Don't let the opinions of small-minded people cage you in. Don't let the fear of failure chain you to mediocrity. Break free. Lift your head, spread your wings. God has more for you, and you will never see it if you keep letting self-doubt silence your potential. Oh, the time has come to shift your thinking. Stop saying, I can't. Start saying, I can do all things through Christ. Stop saying, I'm not enough. Start saying, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Stop saying, it's too late. Start saying, God makes all things new. Your words shape your world, and when you align your confession with his promise, you'll discover strength rising up inside of you. You'll begin to see that the walls you thought were immovable are only waiting for your faith to push against them. Today, chains are breaking. Yeah. Doubt is losing its grip. Fear is being silenced. You are walking out of the prison of limitation, and you are stepping into the freedom of destiny. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The world is waiting on the greatness inside of you, and it's time to set it free. Every destiny worth walking into will come with challenges. You cannot rise to greatness without resistance. You cannot step into purpose without pressure. Too many of us think that the challenges we face are signs that we are off track, but the truth is, they are proof that we are on the right path. The pressure you feel, the obstacles in your way, the storms around you, they are not designed to destroy you. They are designed to prepare you. God does not use comfort to shape destiny. He uses challenges. He uses tests, he uses fire, and when you stop running from them and start embracing them, you will begin to see that every challenge is a stepping stone into the future He has planned for you. Think about it. No champion has ever been crowned without first facing a fight. No diamond has ever been formed without the crushing weight of the earth. No warrior has ever been proven without the battlefield. You cannot pray for destiny and then reject the very process that equips you for it. The challenge you are facing right now is not punishment. It is preparation. It is sharpening your faith. It is building your character. It is teaching you endurance. And when you come through it, you will not be the same. You will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be ready for the next level. Sometimes we ask God to use us and then we complain when the challenge comes. We say, Lord, I want to be great, but greatness comes with weight. We say, Lord, expand my territory, but expansion requires stretching. We say, Lord, take me higher, but the climb is steep and the air gets thin. Stop asking for destiny if you are not willing to embrace the process that builds you for it. God loves you too much to hand you a blessing you are not ready to carry. That's why He allows you to face challenges to develop the muscle, the maturity, and the mindset you will need to handle your assignment. When David faced Goliath, it wasn't the first challenge he had ever seen. Long before he stood on that battlefield, he had already faced lions and bears while watching over his father's sheep. Those challenges were not random. They were preparation. They taught him courage. They taught him to fight. They taught him to trust in God. And when the time came to face a giant, he was ready. If you despise the lions and the bears, you'll never be prepared for the giant, but if you embrace the smaller battles, you'll realize they are training grounds for the bigger victories ahead. Challenges also reveal what's inside of you. You don't know how strong you are until strength is demanded of you. You don't know the depth of your faith until faith is all you have left to stand on. You don't know the power of God working in you until you've been pushed to a place where you can't make it on your own. Don't run from the struggle. It is showing you who you are. It is awakening the potential you didn't know you had. It is breaking off weakness and insecurity so that your true identity in Christ can shine forth. Yes, challenges are uncomfortable. They hurt. They stretch you beyond what you thought you could bear. But the greater the challenge, the greater the destiny on the other side of it. The enemy does not fight people who are going nowhere. If hell has been raging against you, it is because there is something valuable in you. If the storms have been violent, it is because the future God has prepared for you is significant. The fight you're in is not a sign of your weakness. It is a sign of your worth. So lift up your head and stop despising the process. Stop asking God to take you out of the challenge and start asking Him to strengthen you through it. Declare, Lord, I will not waste my struggle. I will not curse my storm. I will embrace this challenge as preparation for the destiny you have prepared for me. When you shift your perspective, you will see that what the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for your good. The very thing that was designed to break you will build you. The very storm that tried to sink you will set you sailing into your calling. So don't give up. Don't run away. Don't despise where you are. Your challenge is not your ending. It is your training ground. It is the classroom of destiny. And when you graduate from this season, you will walk out equipped, empowered, and unstoppable, ready to fulfill the calling that has always been on your life. There comes a point in your journey where what you see doesn't match what God has spoken. And if you're not careful, you will let your eyes talk you out of your faith. Walking by faith means you refuse to be limited by what you can see, what you can touch, or what makes sense in the natural. Sight will always show you the facts, but faith will always reveal the truth. The fact may be that the bank account is empty, but the truth is that God shall supply all your needs according to His riches and glory. The fact may be that you've been knocked down again and again, but the truth is that you are more than a conqueror through Christ who loves you. Sight will always keep you bound by circumstance, but faith will always lift you into promise. Walking by sight will keep you trapped in the realm of what is. Walking by faith propels you into the realm of what can be. If you only live by sight, you will never step out of the boat. You will never face the giant. You will never cross the Red Sea. You'll stay in the comfort of the familiar, but you'll never experience the miraculous. Peter didn't walk on water because of what he saw. He walked on water because of what he believed. Faith said, if he calls me, I can come. Sight said, the waves are too high. The storm is too strong. Faith made the impossible possible. The enemy loves to attack your sight because he knows if he can fill your vision with fear, you won't move forward. That's why so many of us feel paralyzed, not because we don't have the potential, not because we don't have the calling, but because what we see in front of us looks bigger than what we believe inside of us. But faith is not about ignoring reality. It's about believing that God's reality is greater than what your eyes can see. Faith doesn't deny the storm, but it declares that Jesus has authority over the wind and the waves. Faith doesn't deny the mountain, but it speaks to the mountain and commands it to move. Faith doesn't deny the valley, but it reminds you that even in the valley of the shadow of death, you are not alone. You see, walking by faith requires courage. It requires you to step when you don't have all the answers, to move when the path is unclear, to trust when the outcome is uncertain. That's why faith pleases God, because it demonstrates that you are willing to rely on Him more than you rely on yourself. If you only walk when you see the way clearly, that's not faith, that's calculation. Faith is when you move while your knees are shaking, when you keep going though every voice tells you to quit, when you hold on to His promise even though nothing around you looks like it. Abraham walked by faith when he left everything familiar, not knowing where he was going, but trusting the God who called him. Joshua walked by faith when he marched around Jericho, believing that walls could fall at the sound of praise. The woman with the issue of blood walked by faith when she pushed through the crowd, declaring, if I can just touch the hem of His garment, I shall be made whole. Every miracle in the Bible began with somebody daring to walk by faith. If they had waited to see evidence first, they would have never moved. But because they trusted God above what they saw, they stepped into the miraculous. And that same God is still calling you to walk by faith today. You may not know how it will work out, but He does. You may not see the provision yet, but it's already on the way. You may not see the healing yet, but it's already being released. Faith reaches into the unseen and pulls into the present what God has already prepared for your future. Faith declares that the promise is yes and amen, even while you are standing in the middle of a problem. So I challenge you, stop letting sight dictate your steps. Stop letting what you see determine what you believe. Choose to walk by faith. Speak faith. Live faith. Stand in faith, even when it looks impossible, even when it feels overwhelming. Even when the facts are screaming against you, faith says God is still able. And when you walk by faith, not by sight, you will see the hand of God move in ways that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and hearts have not imagined. Your life is bigger than you. Your purpose is not just about your comfort, your success, or even your lifetime. God placed something inside of you that is meant to echo through generations. When He formed you in your mother's womb, He didn't just think about you. He thought about the lives that would be touched through you, the doors that would be opened because of you, the chains that would be broken in your family line because you chose to fulfill your purpose. You are not just living for today, you are sowing seeds for tomorrow. One of the greatest lies of the enemy is to make you think that your life doesn't matter, that your choices don't count, that your obedience is insignificant. But I came to tell you that when you walk in your purpose, you are shaping legacies. Every step you take in faith, every time you say yes to God, every time you push past fear and pursue destiny, you are impacting people you may never even meet. Your children, your grandchildren, your community, and even strangers across the world can be blessed by the ripple effect of your obedience. Look at Abraham. God said, through you, all nations will be blessed. Abraham's obedience wasn't just about him, it was about generations to come. Look at Joseph. His suffering wasn't just about him, it positioned him to save his family and an entire nation from famine. Look at Esther. Her courage wasn't just about her. It delivered her people from destruction. That is the power of walking in purpose. You never know how far the reach of your obedience will go. What you do in faith today can transform lives decades from now. The tragedy is that too many people live and die without ever discovering this truth. They settle for survival when God called them to significance. They chase money, applause, or recognition, but never stop to ask, Lord, why did you put me here? Purpose is not found in what you accumulate. It is found in what you contribute. It is found in the lives you touch, the light you carry, the difference you make. And until you step into that purpose, you will always feel a void, because no amount of success can substitute for significance. The enemy knows this. That's why he works overtime to distract you, to discourage you, to convince you that you are too flawed, too late, too broken to be used. But the devil is a liar. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He doesn't wait until you are perfect to use you. He uses imperfect people to carry out his perfect plan. And when you surrender to him, he will take your pain, your past, your failures, and turn them into testimonies that bless others. Fulfilling your purpose requires courage, because it will often lead you to places that are uncomfortable. It may demand sacrifices. It may cost you relationships. It may stretch you beyond what you think you can handle, but remember, purpose is never about just you. It's about who comes after you, what you build, what you break, what you overcome. It becomes a foundation for others to stand on. When you fight through addiction and win, you break generational curses. When you rise from poverty into abundance, you shift the legacy of your family. When you walk boldly in faith, you inspire others to do the same. Every generation needs somebody who is willing to stand up and say, the cycle stops with me, the curse ends with me, the silence ends with me, the brokenness ends with me. I will fulfill my purpose so that those who come after me can walk in freedom. That's why your purpose matters. It's not just about your name being remembered. It's about God's name being glorified through your life and through the generations you impact. And here's the beautiful thing: when you pursue your purpose, God gives you the strength to carry it. He opens doors no man can shut. He provides resources you never imagined. He aligns you with people who will help you along the way. Purpose attracts provision. Destiny draws favor. And as you walk in it, you will see not only your own life transformed, but the lives of countless others who are touched because you dared to obey. So I challenge you today, stop living small. Stop hiding your gift. Stop running from your calling. Step into your purpose. Live with the awareness that your life is a seed, and that what you plant today will bear fruit for generations tomorrow. Don't leave this earth without releasing what God placed inside of you. Don't let fear silence your destiny. You were born to impact lives, to shift atmospheres, to change stories, to build a legacy of faith. And when you fulfill your purpose, generations will rise up and call you blessed because you were faithful to the call of God on your life. You heard it today. There is greatness planted inside of you. You were not created to live small, to blend into the background, or to simply exist. You were created to shine, to rise, to walk in divine destiny. But to step into that destiny, you've got to break free from every limitation, silence every voice of self-doubt, and refuse to be held hostage by fear. Yes, the challenges will come, the storms will rise, the giants will stand in your way, but those challenges are not your enemy. They are your preparation. They are the tools God uses to sharpen you, to strengthen you, to mold you into the person He designed you to be. Stop running from the process. Embrace it, because the process is proof that purpose is alive in you. And when the path looks dark, when the road seems impossible, when your eyes cannot see the way forward, that's when faith must rise. Walk by faith, not by sight. Trust that God has already gone ahead of you. Trust that His promises are greater than your problems. Trust that His hand is guiding you, even when your feet are trembling. Faith doesn't just move mountains, it moves you into the place where miracles happen. But don't forget this, your purpose is not just about you. It's about generations. It's about those who will come after you, those who will walk freer, stronger, bolder, because you decided to fulfill your calling. You are carrying legacy in your spirit. You are carrying impact in your obedience. You are carrying transformation in your yes to God. So today, make the decision. Discover the greatness He planted within you. Break free from every limitation that has tried to hold you back. Embrace the challenges as your training ground. Choose to walk by faith when sight tells you to quit. And above all, live to fulfill your purpose, not just for your sake, but for the sake of every life your destiny is designed to touch. The world is waiting on you. Heaven is cheering for you. And God is saying, now is the time. This is the season. Step into your divine destiny.